Good day, here are today's top stories from the Pna Headlines. We start at the nation's top office. Malacañang highlighted President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s efforts to improve the welfare of the Filipino workforce. This as workers in Metro Manila will soon get a 50 peso increase in their daily minimum wage. In a press briefing, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says the pay hike translates to an additional 1,300 pesos per month. Castro said the wage hike is one of many government interventions aimed at making life easier for Filipinos. The 50 peso increase, the highest granted so far by the National Capital Region Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board, takes effect on the 18th of July. The Department of Labor and Employment says around 1.2 million workers will benefit from the said increase. Castro says the government would also study the feasibility of a 200 peso across-the-board daily salary increase for minimum wage workers. Aside from the wage hike, she adds the government will also provide 170,000 jobs for Filipinos through job fairs held from 2022 to May 1 this year. She also reported the opening of 350,000 jobs made possible through investments worth $27 billion.
Kung nagbigay po ngayon ang Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board ng 50 pesos na wage hike, yan po ang na-evaluate na maaaring ibigay sa ating mga gagawa para maibsan po ang kahit konting hirap na lumalabas po itong 1,300 per month. At sa lahat po ng kakayanin ng administrasyon at sa pakikipag-usap sa lahat ng stakeholders, mga manggagawa, mga negosyante, mga investors, lahat po ito ay pakikinggan para na rin sa kabutihan ng lahat.
The National Nutrition Council in Bicol, or NNC5, urges local chief executives in the region to prioritize health and nutrition programs as they begin their term. During the launch of National Nutrition Month on Monday, NNC5 Office in Charge Director Emerenciana Francia says local leaders play a crucial role in strengthening programs that will address malnutrition.
Sa lahat po ng ating mga LCs, local chief executives, yung mga policy makers po natin ay tinatawagan din po ang inyong suporta para sa mga polisiya na magiging basihan po no, ng ating pong advokasya ngayon. No? So, marami pong pwedeng mangyari. So, tinatawagan natin ang ating mga partners, government, private sectors, individuals. Lahat tayo may role para po makamit po natin ang nutrisyong sapat para sa lahat.
Francia highlighted the importance of sufficient funding as well as proper monitoring to achieve effective nutrition programs. She says nutrition-centered programs directly address malnutrition issues like infant and young child feeding programs, which support expectant mothers through iron supplements and weight monitoring. The program also promotes exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months and introduces complementary feeding for children ages 6 to 23 months. Francia says local government units must have dietary supplementation programs and micronutrient supplementation programs, which provides vitamin A, iron, and other micronutrients for child and expectant mothers. With the theme, Food at Nutrition Security maging priority, sapat na pagkain karapatan natin. The Nutrition Month celebration in Bicol region consists of various activities including quiz contests, on-the-spot poster-making contest, and speech management involving government and non-government agencies. The Philippine Poverty Reduction Summit 2025 called for deeper collaboration and a renewed commitment to inclusive growth and poverty reduction as it concluded on Tuesday. National Anti-Poverty Commissioner NAPC Secretary Lopez Santos III described the event as a reassessment of the agency's poverty reduction strategies. He says the NAPC intensified its coordination with the regional development councils and regional institutional formations to ensure the proper integration of poverty reduction agenda. The summit aimed to align and unify the stakeholders' efforts in reducing the national poverty incidence to a single-digit level by the year 2028. This is in line with the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028 and President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s target to lower the poverty from 18.1% in 2021 to 8.8% by 2028, and the Philippines' commitment to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030. Recent data from the Philippine Statistics Authority revealed that poverty incidence dropped to 15.5% in 2023, indicating progress yet underscoring urgent sustained interventions. The multi-sectoral summit gathered representatives from the NAPC Secretariat, national government agencies, local government units, the 14 basic sectors, development partners, civil society, the academe, the private sector, and international institutions. The discussion focused on strengthening partnerships, promoting innovative and localized solutions, and addressing the root causes of poverty in the country. The government will continue assisting overseas Filipino workers in Israel amid eased tensions in the Middle East. In a virtual press briefing, Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak says the Department of Migrant Workers has committed to help in the repatriation of affected OFWs. This even as the Department of Foreign Affairs lowered the alert level in Israel from level 3 or voluntary repatriation to 2 or restricted deployment. DMW Undersecretary Felicitas Bay reported that 26 OFWs were repatriated on June 24, while another 31 are scheduled to arrive in batches from July 2nd to 5. Meanwhile, 195 OFWs are reconsidering their plans to go home following the ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Additional trips are being arranged for those still choosing repatriation. Meanwhile, the Migrant Workers Office in Tel Aviv is regularly checking the welfare of 431 OFWs. Bay said the MWO is maintaining 4 shelters, including its own facility and 2 flats. These shelters are housing at least 17 persons and have a standby capacity of up to 50 people. In addition to shelters, Bay said nearly 300 OFWs have received food packs, hygiene kits, and financial aid equivalent to $200. In our business news, Trade Secretary Cristina Roque thanked Century Pacific Food Incorporated for the 1 peso rollback on its canned sardine products. The decrease in the prices of Ligo and 555 sardine brands took effect Tuesday, a measure the company said would ease the burden of consumers. Roque said the price cut is a big help in reducing the expenses of the consumers. She adds this action served as proof that the private sector supports and coordinates with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s administration to ensure the affordability of basic goods. The DTI's Fair Trade team would also monitor the market to ensure sufficient supply and stability on prices of basic commodities. And in other news, the Department of Agriculture through the National Food Authority or NFA will start procuring white and yellow corn next year. This follows President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s announcement of the resumption of corn buying by the NFA in a dialogue with Gawad Saka awardees in Nueva Ecija on Monday. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel Jr. says white corn could reduce the demand for rice as there are parts of the Philippines where people eat corn as an alternate staple. At least 500 million to 1 billion pesos will be requested from the 2026 General Appropriations Appropriations Act for the said procurement. Tiu Laurel says they plan to set the NFA's buying price for corn to be higher than corn's current production cost. In a separate interview, DA spokesperson Arnel de Mesa says the cost of corn production in northern Mindanao, a major corn-producing region, is 10 pesos and 5 centavos to 10 pesos and 20 centavos. Corn in Cagayan Valley is priced up to 13 pesos and 20 centavos, while in Soxargen, its price ranges from 11 to 12 pesos. And those are the latest and the biggest stories from the PNA headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. You may also watch the PNA headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. I am William Theo. This is the PNA headlines, bringing you stories that unite the nation.